The Heralding Cannabis here with another video. Today is August 12th, 2019. We're basically going to be looking at today's news and partially of some of this week's news because this week is probably going to be very similar. It is basically just earnings, and more earnings. I'm going ahead and open up Canopy Growths here just because it has a pretty good list of more stuff to come this week. So as you can see today, we got some Green Lane Holdings. We got some Village Farm International Inc. Earnings report as well. We got MetaPharm Labs Corp. that came out with their earnings. The only ones that we've actually looked at so far are Village Farms, and they were phenomenal, but we'll get to those once we get down to that ticker symbol. Tomorrow we should be expecting Tilray's earnings. We should be expecting the Green Organic Dutchman, Acreage Holdings, Flower One Holdings. On Wednesday, we'll be expecting Aleaf and Helix TCS. I've actually never heard of Jushi Holdings, but I guess we'll be expecting their earnings as well. Canopy Growth Corp, of course, will be expecting their earnings. And True Leaf Cannabis Corp will also be presenting their earnings on Wednesday. Thursday is actually going to be a big day for the industry. It's the Bazinga Cannabis Capital Conference. You guys might say, oh, it's just a little capital conference. Well, actually, it might be pretty important this year because the State's Baking Act is making great headway within the Congress, and there could be, pertinent information from those that are either lobbying for the bill or have, connections or networking or further information from those in Washington that might be able to be trickled down to alleviate some anxiety or worries that entrepreneurs and cannabis business people have when it comes to sourcing capital, sourcing funds, or even just starting out a business and finding out how to actually get the money to do that. So looking forward to the Capitol Conference. I hope we're able to make it out there. We're kind of just waitlisted on this flight, so we'll see. But if we are out there, hope to see you guys there. More news as we go down. CannTrust got really, I guess you'd say quadrupled down on its bad. It came out today that Health Canada released a lot of its notes, and some of the notes that came out were very, very bad when it comes to the operations of CannTrust, not only just with management, but at all levels of management. So not just at the executive level, but even on like the foreman level, the frontline level. So what came out? Well, Health Canada basically said that CannTrust doesn't really know how to operate. Not only were they not helpful during the audit or inspection of Health Canada, they weren't able to answer questions in a timely manner. They weren't able to provide any sort of information that the Health Canada wanted in a timely manner, if at all. And also there was a lot of other violations in regards to storage rooms, operational rooms, and converting operational or sections of operational rooms into storage without notifying Health Canada or without being approved to do so by Health Canada. So there's a lot of rules and regulations that these licensed producers must follow in Canada, and CannTrust didn't follow any of them, it seems. They kind of just did what they wanted. And Health Canada is definitely slapping down on them. So, as we've said, for a while now, even with that little, I pulled it up just so you could see how a lot of people shot this back up, so that way they could, leave with some profit, if at all. So if you are still in CannTrust, definitely soul search or jump ship, because a lot of people are. Curaleaf also coming off of bad news from last week. They've got in trouble for, it's a little confusing or a little more complex, but I view it as a change of ownership, or, it was an asset agreement, kind of. An asset or a merger of an asset changed ownership into Curaleaf. And rather than just wait, I guess, they needed to have approval in order for this merger to go through. They kind of just assumed that the regulatory body would approve it, so they just went ahead and did it. And now they've retroactively, put in for that approval, and it has been approved. After they got that $250,000 fine. So, lessons to be learned for all cannabis companies out there. And that's basically where we're at. Is we have to look at the rules. We have to look at what the authoritative bodies are trying to say now, because they're going to start cracking whips. More news. CVSI is probably going to be on your guys' feeds, on your, in your forum chat rooms, or in your Facebook group, or Podstock Facebook groups. Mainly because CVSI took a very, very big drop. That realistically lost a fourth of its value in basically a day and a half, really. And it has kind of bounced down here at 3, or held down here at 3. But there's a lot of people out there saying, this is time to load up, it's time to load up, it's time to load up. Please do your homework on CVSI. We do not see that being time to load up just yet. But as always, we've been wrong, so please do your own homework. Charlotte's Web kind of fighting back up. Got nice action there. Starting to be a very healthy stock. Dixie Brand's doing okay, not amazing after its Arizona announcement. Definitely could have gone a lot higher and a lot better with more volume, but still doing great up there on some highs. GBLX was not able to convert that good news, being basically the only people to sell cannabis in Louisiana. Some of the other big ones not doing so well today also had MariMed's earnings. Those were great earnings. Quarter 2, they had 25.7 million versus 2.9 million 1 year prior. That's over a 700% increase. Marijuana or cannabis is very profitable for those companies out there that are trying to cultivate it or produce it or distribute and sell it. The key to all this, though, as you can see, is even though, let's go ahead and pull them back up, even though they did have great revenue, they still reported a per share loss. MariMed did. A lot of this has to do with sales and general administrative expenses, and also convertible debt. So when you are looking at your earnings for whatever company that you're looking at earnings for, we're looking at tons of earnings, over a little bit here, over this stretch. Actually, the next 2 to 3 weeks are going to be full of earnings, and more earnings and numbers. So, basically, when you're looking at that, you want to look at the revenue, you want to look at the cash, you want to look at the debt, you want to look at all these different things within the earnings. So please look forward to a THC video on earnings reports and what to look for. Continuing on, of course, I just pulled up Village Farms International's great report that they pulled out. They might actually have a pretty good day tomorrow, mainly not just because of the earnings, but because of technicals, actually. They've come up to a really good support line, that 14. It's been a resistance for quite some time. And coming into it tomorrow, pretty hot. Arun looks great. CCI is still really hot. RSI tapered back, and it's about, ready to rip, it looks like. VFF might be your stock tomorrow if you're ready for some, quick 20 to 30% run. If it converts, you never know with these stocks. More people that get to pencil, push, and crunch those numbers might have a different valuation than what we're looking at preliminarily here. But VFF will be a great stock to watch tomorrow for sure, mainly just because of those earnings. Look for an article as well as how we're going to unpack a lot of our top choice earnings out there, because there are quite a few. All right, we're going to close out today just kind of going over our positions. Now, we have received emails of people saying, you guys never use or reveal your positions on your main cannabis list. Well, I have, actually. It just, sometimes we're in them, sometimes we're not. Now, recently, on the main cannabis list, we have not held any positions in those for a couple, actually about 2 to 2.5 weeks. That is due to kind of our own research, and we wanted to put a lot of our holdings in these two, which you guys can see right here, EVIO and PHVAF. EVIO is actually, we're not going to say much because they are a stop sign on OTCmarkets.com. They have financials that are way, way, way past due. I think they have some more that are due in about 2 days that are going to make it even more past due. But do your homework on EVIO. It is one to know for sure. PHVAF, Vivita Holdings, everybody that watches Heralding Cannabis videos and also reads any of the Heralding Cannabis articles knows that Vivita Holdings is our fall 2019 pick, and we might actually extend that into spring of 2020 if things keep going the way we think they're going to go. Please do your guys' homework on Vivita if you have not already. That A-rune indicator looks great. That is all I will say right there. Alright guys, that is it from the Heralding Cannabis. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit subscribe or like. And if you didn't, comment and tell me why.